uptown, east side, west side, downtown, whatever. But
Okay.
for me, the east side is always going to be home.
Right. Okay. Okay. So when did you fall in love with hip hop?
I fell in love with hip hop when I was about 6 years old. My Uncle K Slade was DJing in the back with Dollar Bill. My
Rest
godfather
up, K
Charlie
Slay.
Moe. Huh?
Rest up, DJ K Slay.
Absolutely. Um, he was DJing in the back with Dollar Bill, and my godfather Charlie Moe, and the baddest girl in the Jacks. There's always one. Her name is Charlotte, and they were dancing the It Takes Two by Rob
Mm.
Bass, and I lost my mind because it was like I saw the control that they had over them on the dance floor, and then I could listen to the music. The beat was thumping in my chest, and the lyrics was just dope for that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So when did you feel like you had the talent to do music?
Um, Probably about the next year. Um,
Yeah.
so it took me about a year to get the courage up to start, writing and trying to DJ. And in me trying to DJ, I used to scratch the records in my mother's house.
Okay.
And instead of telling her I wanted to DJ, I would throw them out the 14th store window like frisbees when I would mess
Okay.
up, the vinyl itself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my real introduction, like just being in my room by myself and learning how to mix, listening to the different percussion sounds of the beats, mimicking what the rappers were doing, and just trying to find my space in this thing called
Hmm.
hip hop.
Do you remember the first record you ever scratched?
The first record I ever scratched was Ribbon in the Sky, I promise you.
Okay. Okay.
And
That's-
I got my ass beat for it. Really.
yeah.
I got the whooping of a lifetime. Let's just say
Yeah,
they
Mama
started
wasn't
giving
playing
me
that.
vinyl after that.
Mama wasn't playing none of that. So how did your peers feel about you traveling in this music journey?
My dad was very overprotective, and he would always like try and see me after my events. My mom, not so much. I can remember probably on one hand how many times she's come to an event.
Hmm.
I believe there's only two or three, but it was never anything lucrative for her. She's old school, so she's more like education, become a lawyer, a doctor, a councilman, the mayor, something. Just don't do anything non-traditional. And my pops is like, yo, if you can get it, get it. I'm gonna be here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So do you remember like the first record that you ever worked on, and what was the producer you worked with? I'm talking
The
about the one that
first record
solidified you as an artist. Like I'm an
for
artist now.
for me, the first
Yeah.
record I ever worked on was a song by G Dep,
Okay.
and it was originally on it was supposed to be on the remix albums or the second album that he was supposed to drop. Right? There's an album that's shelved since he's been locked up, and I'm
Hmm.
actually on it, and it's the Dance With Me remix.
Okay. Okay.
But because he got locked up and things happen, it's still on the shelf.
Free
But
him.
that
Free.
was pretty much my first solidified situation, being in the studio with Rockweiler, Meth and Red, and Depp and Black Rob. Rest in peace to Black Rob.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
ask you. That was gonna be one of the questions I was gonna ask you. Like, what are some of the celebs you came across? In this
I came
music.
across pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. I've So in my love of music, I found different avenues to make it work.
Okay.
Um, I started out DJing in the clubs at 16 and 17 years old. Um,
Hmm.
and I would clean up because I was underage,
Okay.
so I could DJ. And that was my first real on hand experience as a DJ. And then at 18 or 19, I got with someone and we had a web and graphic design business. But in that business, because where we lived at the time was so small, there was nobody else that could do graphic design like us. You
Mm.
understand? And we filled the void that the town needed, which is Albany, New York. Shout out to the capital. Um, And with that being said, everybody that came in and did a concert in Albany came through our shop. And with that happening, I was able to open up for almost everybody. I'm talking Lil Wayne, Nelly, Lil Kim, the Up in Smoke tour, Badass, the original Badass, Pink, Khalees, Usher, you name it, I was a part of it. You know,
Yeah.
down to me actually being requested to braid because the stylist quit for the 8701 tour, and me, you know, getting a couple gigs off of that. You know, I
Okay.
danced back up for Pink, Britney Spears, Khalees, and Outkast.
Mm.
For Arista on the New York Street team, I was one of the people that was handing out the flyers and putting up the posters for Jay-Z. Streets is Watching the first time,
Hey, Doug.
and Reasonable Doubt.
Hey, that's my number one. That's my top
That's my
five.
number. Well,
Yeah,
he's my top five. I will say that.
he in my top five too. I ain't gonna lie.
But like in dealing with different avenues in the industry, it taught me a lot. You know, you can be the help, but you can also be the number one. And I
Mm-hmm.
just had to figure out where I wanted to be and where I stood, you know, as far as music is concerned. And I've pretty much done every job that you can think about in the industry.
So you was an A&R and all of that too?
I did A&R for Mikey J for
Okay.
about 2 months. I really didn't like it.
Mm.
It was very demanding. I found out in that, you know, that that situation was more quid pro quo, if that makes sense. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to entertain situations like that. It's either you're good or you're not, you know.
That's real.
And I felt like a lot of people played because of his name. I don't know what happened in the past with him, or if mainstream just wasn't trying to give him what he deserved. But it was
Mm.
definitely frustrating for me. At the time, I did not have a car, and I had two
Yeah.
babies. You understand,
Damn.
very little, and it just wasn't a good situation for the time. Like Mike is dope. He's won tons of awards as an independent artist. He's done movies and all types of stuff. You understand? But I feel
Mm.
like at that point, A&R, for who I truly am inside as an artist and a creative, A&R wasn't enough for me.
Yeah. Understood. Understood. So I gotta ask you, how did you get the name Lady Kutz?
I used to, in me cleaning up in the clubs, two DJs, DJ Jin and DJ Cutmaster Supreme. They used to teach me how to do tricks live on the set, you
Mm.
know, and they would let me DJ in the club. I was underage. And when they would let me go on, the girls would always come to the booth. And then them coming to the booth, Cut actually said one day, he was like, yo, you don't have a DJ name. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, what about Lady Kutz? Ladycutz. And I was
That's,
like, in my youngness, I was like, there's no C's over here. I'm a street sweeper. I'm gonna be a street sweeper. So
yeah.
everything's gotta change. It's gotta be a K, an I, and a Z because I'm different. I'm not like everybody. It was a big thing, but it ended up being, you know, Ladikutz as a homage to my uncle K Slay.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Rest up. Rest up. That's a dope ass name too. I ain't gonna lie to you, shorty.
Thank
Uh,
you.
who are some inspirational artists, female artists that you might could pay homage to for like your style or whatever that not saying you got your style from them, but like that you could relate to for us like
Um, I would have to say Lauren,
Lauren Hill,
um, Queen Latifah.
definitely Queen Latifah. Okay.
Um, you know what's funny? Although I
Mm-hmm.
only know one song of hers, the song was so big to me that Lady of Rage is definitely on the list because she was different at the time when she came out.
You got that. Not saying you look like her a little bit, like your face was. I swear to
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
the first I'm like, damn, she remind me of Lady of Rage. Like
yeah. Lady of Rage is dope, and a lot of people under valued her. I think. Um,
she was definitely a dope lyricist.
yeah, she was, and for me, her unpolishedness and just her realness. with the way she carried things out, made me fall in love with her with one song.
Yeah.
Um, so we have Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, Lady of Rage, right? And then Rem, you
Okay.
know,
Remy.
at a
Okay.
time in my life where
Bronx in the house.
I just I was so over music. I just was done with it. It was like a transition phase, and she came out with whatever.
Okay.
And that was my mood at the time, and it just woke me up. It was like, word, if the guy say get her, I'ma get her. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, yeah. I bet.
That was dope. I really appreciated her roughness, and then the fact that she brought some rough exterior Tom girl
Yeah,
chic to
but
it.
that's the true hip hop though. That's what hip hop is, you know. It ain't
Yeah,
none of this bullshit that they, in my opinion, you know. I
yeah,
don't want to offend nobody, but I feel like hip hop kind of got watered down a little bit, you know. In
yeah.
my
And then I would say two more. I would have to say MC Light.
okay, definitely MC.
Roughneck was definitely one of my favorite songs growing up. I felt like there was no back then. There was a lot of visual for us. It
Mm,
was more about the music. So
yeah,
for me, the way she came across on the track was very different, and it was aggressive, but back then it was a lot of conscious music.
mm,
And for Light and La to come out like they did, it was super dope. And my last one, only because I've had a personal encounter with her as a DJ.
mm,
Um, and I respect how she handled her business when it came to me DJing before I even knew who she was, before I had ever heard a song, because I'm not a person that likes to listen to radio
yeah,
because I, at the time, was running my own show on college radio and we could only play non-top 40 music. I was more worried about what else was coming next. So
okay,
um we have a show in Albany, New York at a club called Sneaky Pete's, and this little tiny girl, short, very pretty, comes in with
mm,
a whole entourage, and it was like a trunk full, suburban full. um
okay,
she was very quiet and laid back. But when she observed that they kicked me off the turntables, you know, she kind of forced them to let me back on. And I respected her so much. And it was just like, I don't care if she plays 30 seconds before I go on. And then this guy gets on, who's my brother, who I love dearly. And I'm not going to say his name, but it was no shade. He was the top dog in Albany.
hmm,
He actually still is. You understand?
okay,
And me just coming up as a female DJ, I kind of took the back burner to a lot of my boys, not only because they didn't know if I was capable, but because I really do feel like I needed a lot of work. You understand? But when she came in town, she made them put me on the turntables. And that woman is Nicki Minaj, and there's footage of it. So, you can go on YouTube and see Hollywood Hustle TV. There's actual footage of Nicki going in Sneaky Pete's and me being on the turntables on stage, with my boy Biz. It was really dope because it just made me feel appreciated. And regardless of what the politics are, we're all out here just trying to make a difference and a legacy for our families and just speak our piece. You understand? As female artists.
okay, okay. So, can we talk about the record you did, Easy Target? Who produced that record, and why did you name it that? What was you trying to speak to the people? Like, what was the message behind it?
Easy Target is produced by my boy Lavish Kurt. Okay.
Okay.
Kurt is a man who is very family oriented, but he's very transparent about emotion. And he was actually my neighbor, and we both did music and we both knew, but we never had an opportunity to really like create magic yet. Like it just was, his schedule was crazy. He was videoing for people and creating his own album and his own body of work, and I was doing the same. But I had gotten upset one night and I was so emotional. And this is the first time I learned about actually recording when you're really in the raw emotion.
Mm,
He was like, all that crying you doing, you better man the fuck up, act like we ain't from Harlem. Get girl,
mm,
here, take a shot. Get on the mic. And I literally made like 4 songs that night, and Easy Target was the last one. The
So
first one I did the lemon pepper freestyle, and I was
yeah,
crying on the end, and he was like, "No, that's not enough. You're not done." And he pulls up the Easy Target beat, and I just started thinking about everything that I had gone through, everything my friends had went through, everything that I thought that could have been, and what I could say to a man, um, if he was that person for me,
yeah.
if that makes sense. To create a
Understood.
narrative that not everybody wants to shake ass and bounce from penis to penis. You know, some of us want to have longevity and have a lifelong partner and a best friend and share every moment with, for travel, you know, and not even just travel, but just have those experiences. Let's go to McDonald's together. Let's go to a museum together. Let's go to a movie together. Let's just lay in bed and Netflix and do nothing all day. Let's sit let's sit in a quiet space. And what would happen if that turmoil would hit my doorstep? Because nobody's perfect. People cheat. You understand? What would I say to that person? And it was just like, the reality is if I find that one person, I'm not saying I'm a doormat, but we could work this out. Listen,
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, for me, legacy is the most important thing. It's not about money. It's not about what you look like. It's not about what you drive. It's not about what you can get me. Birkin, all of that other stuff. That stuff don't matter to me. What matters is how you respect me, how you love me unconditionally, past all my transgressions, how you love God, and how you love on me in those processes. Because I'm
that's
going
real.
to give you that and then some. So that was the female's perspective in a healthy manner of how to deal with a cheating significant other. You know,
Mm.
if you notice in the beginning of the song, I say, God bless my body, my mind, and my soul.
Yeah, on
That's
me,
the thing you say.
I was gonna ask you,
That's
seem like you kind of woke a little bit.
yeah, that's the thing you say when you're trying to clear your spirit. You
Yeah,
understand? And when you're trying to protect yourself. And that's the same thing that you kind of say when you say your vows in marriage. It's like, God, please protect us. You understand? No matter what comes out my mouth, just protect me and make sure that we covered. And that is coming from a place of true transparency. And it's not to hurt you. You understand? A lot of times we don't communicate properly and it comes off as anger as women when it really is just hurt and passion.
that's real.
So
That's real.
that's really what that song was about. That's why at the end I say F and fucking nigga, we creating legacies. I'm not just laying down with you to be having sex. I'm trying to
Yeah.
create a lineage of super freaking soldiers that we can set forth in front of the world, not only to be amazing at whatever they choose to do, but to put God's work forward.
That's real. Rest up, Tupac.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, can I ask you a question though? What do you feel about all these rappers losing their lives to gun violence?
I think it's time to change. I think it's time to stop glorifying things that don't need glorifying. I think it's time to start paying attention to what really matters.
Hmm.
And I got the opportunity this week to sit with Pop Smoke's mother. I lost my father last year in October, and it was really hard because it was such a public funeral, public situation that I kind of understood where they was their healing process was at. You know, you're really not allowed to heal publicly until 6 months after because the noise has quieted down. You know,
Hmm.
and it's not easy. And I lost my pops, but she lost her son. You understand? And as a mother, to lose one of my children, I can't imagine, you know? And so I got to tell her, you know, thank you for being so graceful in your transition and just know that whatever happened was God's will and he did his work and now it's your time to take the torch and run with it,
Hmm.
you
That's
know?
real. Yeah,
It was a real transparent moment. Like it was so dope. It definitely
yeah.
was.
Hands up, guns down, man. That's how I feel in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's a lot of murder going on in my city, in this, in this city, real crazy right now. And I
Yeah.
lost my brother. I lost my brother to gun violence. My brother got murdered. So
I'm sorry
yeah,
about that.
yeah. And that's just life, I want to ask you, what kind of advice can you give to the younger female artists that want to take your place, not take your place, but follow in your footsteps? I mean,
Legs closed, books open.
yeah,
I don't care what anybody says, what hoopla they try to throw at you. Don't get attached. Keep your legs closed. And until somebody actually shows you, follows through, and is there with you consistently, leave the relationship stuff for outside of your business, because it not only does it fog and cloud your judgment, but it will set you off your path of where God called you to be.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what's new for Lady Cuts 2023? What you envision for yourself? What you got going on?
I have some filming coming up this year. I'll be a part of a series called Lick, um, as well as some other projects that's coming out. We have For the Love of Swazi coming very soon. Um, I have some music songs coming, some music projects dropping.
Okay.
And I'm just steering clear of all the drama and just keeping God first above all things. You know,
And
He is
what you working with on this?
amazing and He wraps His arms around me continuously and daily. So I'm forever grateful for any little blessing that I get, you know,
Wow.
as an award winner of Artist of the Year and Song of the Year without dropping at the time. It kind of put things in perspective. Like, I have an opportunity to make a difference. My songs
You
are on stations all over the
you
country.
won an award?
Say that again.
You won an award?
I won Artist of the Year and Song of the Year in 2021.
No bullshit.
Yeah,
Oh,
on This
congratulations to
Is
you.
Hip Hop Radio.
Yeah, congratulations. For
Thank
real.
you.
That's
It was.
big.
It is. It is. It is. It's a huge accomplishment, especially since I had dropped and everybody I was against had dropped albums and projects and music, and I only had singles out, and they weren't even out on streaming services.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had to regroup and repurpose, things and pray over stuff before you put it out,
That's real. That's real. That's real. So what do you is you independent or what you signed to a major label or you got your own thing going on? What's going on with you?
So I am independent.
Okay.
My label is Ragdoll Entertainment. My label
Okay.
has been around since 2004. Um, I use it as DJing, and now it's my catalyst for my music. But I am attached, manager wise, to Owl Life and Finesse Music Productions. And if I had the opportunity to sign with a label, it would have to be beneficial to me,
Mm-hmm.
because the team that I have for where I'm at right now and not even dropping an album, although I see other people moving faster and catalysting faster, I'm in for the
Mm-hmm.
long haul. I'm not in for the quick fix.
Yeah.
So they would have to give me something beneficial, you know, to beyond just cash to make it worth my while. Like, donate some money to my hood and build some community centers for these kids.
That's
Um,
real.
Create enrichment programs for these parents so they can get in-house training and don't have to leave, their kid and go 4 hours away on a train to make sure they can feed them. You understand? I'm thinking long term. Teach people how to buy land at $3,000, for 40 acres and how to cultivate that land. That's the
Mm-hmm.
type of time I'm on. Diamonds and
Yeah.
cars are nice, but it's not anything substantial. And you can't take it with you. Your kids can't have it either. I mean, they can have it, but is it really worth anything?
Yeah, yeah, you right, you right. Yeah, teach them how to purify water. You know how to
Yeah.
have their own water system.
Yeah.
Because because this money system, money don't mean nothing either for real. Because they
Yeah.
doing away with money soon.
Yeah.
You see the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, they trying to do away with the money.
Yeah.
You know, so if you know how to barter, if you a hustler, you always gonna have to know how to
Yeah.
make something.
You're always
You
gonna
know what I'm saying?
find it.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So how much for bookings and features though? If somebody want to book you,
It depends. A walkthrough is a different price from a performance. For
okay,
me to leave my house is 1,600.
okay,
Because I find my house very comfortable.
that's real. That's
Um, and I'm a homebody at the heart. I really don't like leaving my house, to be honest. Unless I'm going to the movies or out to eat. I rarely leave my house. Um, but I would say, um, prices can be negotiated depending on the purpose of the event. I'm not so locked into a price. If I see you doing good and you want something for yourself, I'll support. Um, but for the most part, my fee is just to leave my house, not even for performance is 1,600. My performance rates is 3K.
Okay.
And that's just a regular old Joe Smo bar. That's not any big venue with a big budget.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you got any merch, any sponsors you want to talk about?
Shout out to A Savvy Wardrobe. They are my clothing sponsor. Shout out to my girl Didi. It's just fashion. She's my stylist. Shout out to Kraken Iced Teas. Get Lifted Treats. I got a co-op with them, a collab for some cereal bars. And Simply Couture. It's my t-shirt line.
Okay.
I support Black fathers loving on their children transparently and unconditionally. And that's, what that line represents as far as what it stands for. Shout out to K Slay and all that he's done in Straight Stunt magazine and, you
So
know,
once again,
Fix Our Crowns and all that other stuff. My friend, I am um, an advocate for her. She has a MS line. It's called Herbalistic Wellness. She sells
okay.
teas, natural remedies for you as opposed to, the medicine and all that. And they work really well. I actually use them myself. And my cousin Latanya, she makes hair care products. I use those. Like pretty much everything I use is black owned and independent.
Is the tea like a detox tea though?
She has everything. She has detox teas. She has immunity booster teas. She has weight loss teas. She has medical teas, for MS and stuff of that sort and that nature. Um, and she also has just regular booster energy teas as well.
That's what's up.
Soaps, lotions, CBD stuff, you know, pretty dope. My friend Emac has she sells weed trays and stuff like that, all custom, one on ones.
That's what's
A
up.
Savvy Wardrobe has a collab with a young woman who does Crocs, and they're all one of one. So I got a nice group around me. You understand? I'm
Mm,
also attached to a company called EM Frenchies, which
okay.
is a company that because French bulldogs are very expensive, but
I know.
they're
Motherfuckers
also
get them.
dogs who have a lot of health problems, right? So they educate you on how to take care of your dog, but they also provide, services where you could find luxury strollers and carriers and stuff like that. And their social media is em_Frenchies. But it's like funny and cute videos. But then when the website is repurposed, they're gonna show you what they're talking about is, education and putting God first, and not only that, but making sure that these animals are taken care of.
That's real. That's real. So how can you be reached via social media?
You can find me at LADIKUTZ on any site, even Black
Okay.
Planet. No,
And I can once again.
LADIKUTZ on
Okay. Okay.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
Okay. Okay. You got anything you want to speak on before we get out of here?
Just always remember to keep God first and always put your family above all. Um, Make sure you guys check out my 3 songs, I'm Real, Easy Target, and House Wrench, who are all able to be requested on your stations. And shout out to When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on the podcast once again. This is another episode of When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop STL. I'm your show host, Israel Picasso. We tuning out. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.